Lobotomy is super fun. I'm really excited for it to come out. The main thing that I'm excited for is there's going to be 3 different versions of this song. So this is the first version that's going to come out, and then next month, and then next month. So we're
Like a
packing in for
remix or?
Yeah, there's
Oh, okay.
So this one is the original version, and then in a month from now I'm going to release the glitched version that has cooler, like really cool production, and then the last one is an acoustic version that's stripped down. This is Briauna, and you are tuned into the ZHZ Podcast.
So Briauna, for those who aren't sure how to spell it, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Well, in my notes it says Briauna.
I love that. Yes.
Zach's pronunciation guide.
Yeah. So
we have to spell things phonetically for Zach sometimes.
So
I have had that problem for a while, so I totally get that.
Yeah. So tell us about yourself. Where are you from? You say you said you're both from LA and Utah?
Yeah, so I have a place out in LA. It's on Sunset, and then I have a place out here in Provo as well. So it's really fun. I kind of go both directions, so it's
You're
great.
quite
But
a
I've been born and raised. Yes.
Dual locations. That's awesome.
Really fun. I love it.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then you said you're a singer. Well, you are a singer. You're a songwriter. You're also a pianist. Where did you walk through how you got to make all that happen?
I love that. That's amazing. So for me, it started when I was 5 years old, and I had this random little electric piano, and I noticed that I was memorizing melodies easier, and I found out that I had perfect pitch. And so it just kind of kept going from there. And then as I became to be a teenager, I realized that writing about my experiences was the main way that I coped with a lot of things. And so I just started to write my own music pretty naturally. And then as I kept going on, I noticed that when I would perform in high school talent shows and things like that, people would be like, "Oh, is your stuff on Apple Music or Spotify?" And I'm like, "No, it's not, but it will be." So that's what happened. I'm a COVID graduate, which is fun. And so that was amazing. So during COVID, I had plenty of time just to get into the studio and get to work and start releasing some music. So that's
Nice.
how I came to be where I am.
Wow. So can I ask how old you are?
Yeah, I'm 24.
24. Oh my God, you're the same age as my son.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. No, we got fellow Gen Zers. It's
No,
great.
no,
You're getting that dad vibe rolling.
That is
Yeah.
because you said you were a COVID graduate, and I'm like, my son was a COVID graduate. It was the weirdest experience, too.
So weird.
we
really
it was
weird.
a drive-through graduation.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's how it was. And then the
That's
auditorium was completely empty, and it was really surreal. It was so
Yeah.
weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we didn't even. Go
Did you
ahead.
graduate from high school in California or in Utah?
No, in Utah. Yeah. I'm
Okay.
born and raised here, and then I'm
Gotcha.
going to be moving out to California next year full time. So
All
that's going to be my main thing.
right.
Yeah.
Nice, nice.
Super fun.
Go for it, right?
Yeah.
Rad.
We got to talk about a couple of projects because
Yeah.
you're here because you've got a new one coming out next month on
Yeah.
July 17th. It's called Lobotomy. Let's talk about your new song.
Yeah, I love that. Lobotomy is super fun. I'm really excited for it to come out. The main thing that I'm excited for is there's going to be 3 different versions of this song. So this is the first version that's going to come out, and then next month, and then next month. So we're packing in for
remix or?
Yeah, there's
Oh, okay.
So this one is the original version, and then in a month from now I'm going to release the glitched version that has cooler, really cool production, and then the last one is an acoustic version that's stripped down, which I felt like I really wanted to do something like that. I feel like the song needed it. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
you always
it's really
got to have an
exciting.
acoustic version of that.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
cool.
And that
Yeah.
drops. That's the round one is releasing on the
July
7th.
17th.
right?
Yes.
Oh, July
Yeah.
17th. Okay,
Yes.
cool. So plenty of time.
Brianna
We got a
was.
sneak preview of it.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say Brianna says
It is.
let us have a little
friggin'
snippet. So we're
And
gonna
a-
tease you guys
It's
later
kind of a
on.
departure from everything else that I've heard from you. It's groovy. I totally dig it.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that was really fun because as you guys could tell from my previous discography, I was a singer-songwriter, and I was in more of the indie alternative scene, and that was really fun. But I was like, I really want to mess around with dark pop and get more into that production space with this project. So that was my main inspiration for that, which I'm really excited to dive more into that. So yeah.
So one of the things we always ask on the show is we call it the aha moment. And in my notes here, it says that you wrote your first song at age 11, at your babysitter's house or piano.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that story?
Yeah, for sure. So I was just playing around on the piano like I usually do. And what's fun is, I don't know if this is just a Utah thing, but they have a reflections competition for elementary school kids where you have a certain theme and you're supposed to either do an art project or something else based off of that. And so I was like, ooh, I've never seen someone write a song for it. So I just started playing around on the piano and came up with something and put it on there, and it was really fun. It just is a really simple melody, and I wrote sheet music for it so I could keep it. But yeah,
Awesome.
that kind
That's
of started
cool.
everything.
That is way cooler than my reflections competition story. Because it was
Thank you.
second grade and I was painting something and I couldn't figure out what I wanted to paint. And so it just kind of became this mess. So I just kind of created this big black field and a big red dot in the middle. And the theme was, what makes me smile? And I said, the planet Mars makes me smile.
Honestly?
And I got it. I got like I got a ribbon for that one because I just couldn't figure out what I wanted to do.
I mean, Mars, I'm surprised it wasn't for Jupiter, right? Because boys are stupider. I'm teasing.
Yeah.
Well, they are.
Hey,
I mean,
that's right.
It rhymes.
Yeah.
And it's,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
No,
So-
that's really funny. I love that.
Yeah, I actually kind of similar roots there. Like my mom had always wanted to play piano, so my dad bought this old piano used or whatever, and it sat in our living room for a couple years. And I think I heard her play it like once, and then one day I was like, I want to play this thing, and I fell in love with it at about age 11. Like my brother and friends were all outside playing basketball and riding bikes and stuff, and I did my fair share of that too, but more than not, I was tied to that piano. My poor mom, bless her heart. Because
Yeah,
I'd
the
write a
practice
song and it
days.
sounded like a little Indian chant, dung, 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 you know? And then I'm like, hey, mom, listen to this. I got a new song. You know, it's like, it's nice, dear.
Aw,
Yeah.
I love that. That's so fun. That's
Yeah.
great.
And then it just...
I want to go back and see the look on my parents' face when I said, I'm going to play the trumpet. Great.
Yeah.
Bless
yeah.
your parents' heart.
At least
Yeah.
it wasn't the drums.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
My daughter has just picked up the viola. And that was kind of the same thing. Like, oh, you're going to
Yeah.
play the viola? And I'm like, it's going to sound like a dead cat or a dying cat for a little while, but she'll
Yes.
get it, you know?
Yeah, that's how I was. I actually played violin for 3 years, and I was in orchestra in elementary school, and that was how it was. It was dying cat for a good minute, because I think what people don't understand about string instruments is you're spending like 5 years just knowing how to play your instrument and
Correct.
getting technique and all of that other stuff. So I decided to stick with the piano more because I loved it more. And then to kind of scratch that itch, I do string arrangements for film scores and stuff like that. So I'm still in the string environment without having to do all the crazy things.
I was going to say, because you said
Yeah.
you've done film scores. Could you tell us what films you've done
Yeah,
for?
for sure. So I did them for just local college projects, and they
Uh-huh.
were super fun to work on. The first one was called Time Capsule, and it was about a father and a daughter, and the daughter finds this old time capsule from her father that recently passed away, and that was a really fun score to write. It was kind of this dichotomy of playing around with nostalgia and playfulness, but also having more of the somber energy later in the film. So that was really fun to work on, and I self-produced that one, which was a great thing. And then the next one I did was for Search for Tomorrow, and that one was super fun to do because it was way out of my genre range. Like I had to do they wanted something more jazzy, which I've never delved into that before because I'm classically trained. And so I'm like, I'll try. I'll try
Yeah.
to do jazz as much as I can. And what was fun was I filmed it in a college practice room with one of my friends on a microphone and just improv'd and just threw it in there. And that's what you're hearing.
Nice.
So,
That's awesome.
yeah, it was really fun.
So,
And then I self-produced that one as well.
so you, the songs that you're working on now, well, at least since 2022, you released, what's the album? Love Me?
Yes.
Is
Yeah.
that right? Okay. And then do you self-produce all of your music now, or do you have
No,
help?
I get so much help, and I'm so thankful. My first producer, she's so amazing. Her name is Becky Willard. I worked with her on that entire album, and I helped collaborate on orchestral arrangements, and I would give her sheet music, or I would give her some MIDI stuff that I worked on, but she produced 100% of that, and we went back and forth. With Lobotomy, I'm working with JG on my first one that's going to come out, and then Alec Dean, he works on my second ones. My biggest goal, as we talked about before, is collaborating with more people, and I
Yeah.
just feel like production is something that I love to do, but I love to get other people's takes on it and get their spin on things, because I feel like being able to bounce off of ideas is really great. So that's been really fun opportunity.
Yeah, and it's more common than you might think.
Yeah,
actually,
tons.
like a lot of artists actually have producers that do that sort of thing. Well, that's cool. That's cool. Are you playing any live gigs out here?
Yeah, I play a lot in Provo. That's kind of my main area. And so
Okay.
I've done stuff at Java Junkie, at the Velour, but my main goal this year is to
Velour's
find more
awesome.
live locations. Oh yeah, I love Velour. They're amazing. So much fun, and they're all really great. And the scene is really cool. Like the Provo scene is really nice. It's been fun to be a part of that more this year. So I usually try to do stuff in Provo, and then I've done some stuff in LA too. I've performed at the Lyric Hyperion.
Yeah,
I've
seen
amazing.
the video.
Yeah.
I've seen the YouTube video that
Oh,
you did.
thank you.
of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So cool.
So that's really
Because that's
fun.
where I was confused. I'm like, well, wait a minute.
Yeah, I've done
I
both.
think it's over Utah, and
Yes.
then, but I see the video, it says in LA. I was like, okay.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the Velour. Actually, Corey, what's his name? Corey
Fox.
Fox.
Yeah, he's
He
amazing.
he puts on what's it called?
Fork Fest.
Fork Fest.
Yes.
Are you
Some
going
of my
to
friends.
that? I think it's this weekend.
I want to go. I unfortunately can't, but my really good friends are performing there and they're awesome. Like Ari, Ava, she's absolutely amazing. She did guitar for me during one of my live shows and I love her. And then Soren, he did drums for me a while ago and he's a part of Strange Familia, which is also performing there. And I love them and their whole band. So a lot of good friends of mine are doing it, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm too busy.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I wish I
get
could
it.
go.
The one that they had, he had 2 stages. I'm sure it's the same layout.
I think it's 3 this time because I saw
Yeah, well, it was 3 because
yeah,
it's got the forest stage and then the back and then
Yeah,
the
yeah.
side by side
Yeah.
big
They're
stages.
side by side. That's what I meant. They had
Oh,
2
I see what you're
main
saying.
areas though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but the back in the woods stage was the coolest by far. It was just like
Ooh.
he brought all of his props from the Velour out there and hung them up
That's
all
so
around the trees,
cool.
and the stage
so,
was
so
like,
cool.
yeah, it was
It was a total vibe, man. So
Yeah, it
so
was-
you're
yeah,
heading,
it was-
so you're moving to LA full time here in the next year or so. Huh?
Yeah, that's my goal. Yes.
That is
Which is really fun. I feel like now for the past couple years I've traveled back and forth. I feel like it's become more of my home and I feel like I understand the layout and everything and I've made some good friends out there, so it feels more comfortable moving out there instead of just like packing my bags and leaving. So
right.
yeah, it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
That's quite an adventure. And
Yeah.
do you think will you still make it back to Utah from time to time to I mean, obviously you like to visit. This is where your roots are, but to come out and play shows from time to time as well.
For sure. Yeah, I think Utah's always going to have a little spot in my heart because it's where it all started. But
Good.
I have family back here, and so I most likely will end up coming back and playing shows back and forth. So yeah, that'll be fun.
Well,
Right
LA's a good place to get your legs for sure. So
Mhm.
especially if you have it all like kind of worked out in a plan, like having a plan. It's one thing just to go
Yes.
out there, but to have some sort of a plan of attack. Let's go ahead and talk about Lobotomy. How long have you been writing that song?
It's crazy. The first draft was back in January. I just had a little soundbite, and it was just the hook, the "Give me a lobotomy," and it was stuck in my head for like a month. And so I was like, I have to write something with this, but for the life of me, I couldn't figure it out. And so I got to the point where I had some synth stuff figured out, and then I contacted some of my producers, and I was like, hey, can you help me come up with a backing track for this? Because I want to write this song. And so it's been for about the past 2 months that I've been working on it. And so from start to finish, it's taken about 2 months, which is nice. It feels good.
Nice. And
Yeah.
you said, so your second version is kind of a glitched out, more like,
Yeah.
is that like, I guess dance, electronic kind of style? Or what
Yeah,
would you
I would
say?
like to say it's like Crystal Castles and Muse were vibing along together, I would say. I got a lot of inspiration from Crystal Castles for that one specifically, just for how the drums are. They're very rhythmic, and then there's electric guitar, so there's an electric guitar solo at the very end, so it kind of catches you off guard, which is really fun. And what was really cool about this version is, so the version that I'm coming out with right now, if you can tell, there's little times where there's heart rate monitor beeps inside the beat and you're immersed in this world and it's really atmospheric. But with this electronic version, I kind of feel like that's on steroids. So there's heart rate monitors in the beat still, and then there's lots of beeps going on and a little bit more distorted vocals. And so it kind of is a darker, more intense version of
Yeah.
what this one is. Yeah.
Cool. I gotta give a shout out to my daughter Stella because she absolutely adores you.
Hi. She's so sweet. That was so
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, she's like, "Hey, Dad, I got a dance move to Brianna's song." I'm like, "Really?" She's like, "Yeah." She's like, I think I shared it with you."
Yes,
But
you did.
yeah. But I'm like, "Okay." She's like, "Record it." I'm like, "Sure." So she wanted to say
I
thanks.
loved that.
So,
Oh, of course. Well, and I wanted to say thank you too, because what's so funny is I have 2 left feet. It's not even funny. I'm trying to work on it, but I can't dance to save my life. And
Yeah.
I've always admired dancers for that reason, because I feel like music means something so much more to dancers because they can understand the rhythm within their body. And so when she came up with that choreography, I was like, oh my gosh, like I need to do something with Skeleton Boy where now I have this more synchronized choreography. But that actually
If anything inspired,
right?
yeah, inspiration.
It inspired me because I've, for example, as we've said before, one of my inspirations is Melanie Martinez in a lot of my work.
Nice.
She does really amazing world building and atmospheric vibes that I like to emulate within my own stuff. But specifically in Nurse's Office, she has very choreographed choreography. And so I'm trying to coordinate something like that with Lobotomy.
Yeah,
And
this
we're
is
going
more
to
of
try
a
to figure that
clinical.
out.
I think because
Yes.
you did dissect the song a little bit,
Yeah.
and I don't know if I wrote notes on that, but
That's okay.
I did read about it. What's the song about, real quick?
Yeah. No, that's great. So Lobotomy is about feelings of self-isolation and feelings of being detached from yourself and your own emotions and processing memories. And so I wanted to have a really cool metaphor to describe that feeling. And as I was researching kind of where the procedure came from and the origins of everything. And I thought it would be something cool to speak on. And just a really cool take. So
Yeah.
that's what it's about in general.
Nice.
See, I hear Lobotomy, and instantly my brain goes to the movie Sucker Punch.
Yeah.
But
Or One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah, that's cool. I love that.
But musically, I mean, it's like there's parts, the elements of the song, and I can't wait to hear the glitched out version because I think it sounds like it'll even be like amped up. But there's elements of this music, this song that kind of make you feel uneasy and uncomfortable. Yes. And like,
I
and
love
so
that.
that is so, and I think, of course, with the whole idea of clinically a lobotomy, I think that's absolutely vibes with it.
Yeah, well, I love that you had that impression of that, because my main goal, especially in my vocals, is, I don't know if you guys noticed this when you listened to it, but in the first verse, I wanted my vocals to be very emotional, and I wanted my second verse to be very detached, like the lobotomy was already done. And so that's why there's a lot of vocal stacks and there's a lot of auto-tune and there's a lot of bit crushing. I wanted that stark difference between the two, and I wanted you to feel a little bit more uneasy as you were listening to it. So yeah,
it's almost
Mission
like
accomplished.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
I was gonna say, like, I could hear that in the chorus where it's like you said, the first verse is more vulnerable, and then when you get to the chorus, it's just kind of like that stamp. It's processed,
Yeah,
and then you ran through the ringer at that point.
Oh yeah, and then also with the bridge too. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but there's little whispers in the background that are panned.
Yes, I did hear some flutterings.
Some like flutterings, yeah. And I wanted that to represent insecurities, kind of those like bad ideas in your ear, overwhelming thoughts, and then also
poor
me
life
whispering.
Decisions.
Right? Yeah, or poor life decisions, exactly.
Yeah.
And so just getting really oh my gosh, exactly. But just being, we've all been in this situation where you're really self-critical and you get into your head a lot. And I feel like I was like that for a while when I was writing music and trying to figure out what I wanted this new album to be like. And so I wanted to emulate that feeling as well.
So is this a single to an album that's coming out? Or
Yes.
is this, now we're getting to the tea.
I know. We're like revealing all the things.
Yeah.
But
All right.
Okay.
Dig it.
yeah, so this album, it doesn't have a name yet. I am currently working on it, but the vibes are going to be kind of back rooms like. So there's going to be different rooms that represent different feelings, emotions. And so this one, I don't know if you guys know about the back rooms, but there's a specific level in the back rooms where there's an abandoned hospital room. And so that was mainly my inspiration behind that.
Nice.
That vibe. And so I have an interlude. Gosh, you guys are getting all of the tea, but
yeah.
I have
We're taking it. Like,
I know. There's like lots of sprinkles, but there's an
Right, yeah.
interlude. Yeah. There's an interlude that's going to be called Liminal Space. And so obviously there's liminal spaces in the back rooms where it's like nostalgic enough, but then there's still like that little bit of uneasiness with it. So it'll be really fun to explore all of those ideas and thoughts as it gets written. So yeah.
Right. Well, and it kind of ties into the fact that you called your world like a musical biosphere.
Yeah.
And so what does that mean to you?
That's a great question. I love that. For a while, my inspiration is obviously butterflies. I have lots of blue butterflies everywhere. This is my poster from Skeleton Boy.
Nice.
And so butterflies for me are a symbol of transformation and a symbol of change and evolution. And then same with like the color blue. I've just always really resonated with it. So with a biosphere, I wanted to go along with the same theme where it's like, butterfly biosphere, like you're in this world. So it's more of a artistic way to say like, welcome into my world, like welcome into my musical biosphere.
Love it. We've actually gone through kind of a few different, like what was Janitas? He had his thing. What did he call it? I can't remember. But then we just interviewed a guy named Charlie Gilder, who called it the Gilder era.
That's cool.
And they all have like their like, I don't know, their anchor. They have like this anchor. So,
but in every case, it's something that takes it beyond just making music.
Yes.
It's taking it from from being a music to a movement or a statement or a lifestyle, and I think it's really cool because
Thank you.
Yours is elegant though. Like yours is like it's got blue, it's butterflies, and I like there's elegance in your packaging.
Yeah, I appreciate that a ton.
Yeah.
I always love really kind of melancholy. Like I'm inspired by Edgar Allan Poe as well and Tim Burton, and so a lot of those influences are going to happen. And
I know,
like they're just amazing.
I'll tell you what. Like as soon as you like reached out and we were first in contact, and I started like doing a little bit of homework, and I'm like the one that just jumped out, Danny Elf.
Yes.
Yeah, same here.
Because Zak and I met in the summer of 1991. In 91, we were both hustling midway games at Lagoon.
So fun.
That was our summer job, and it was a really slow afternoon, and we're working games next to each other and just kind of shooting the shit. And just like you do this, I mean, with either one of us, and I'm sure it's the same with you, with any musician, it's like you can't strike up hey, getting to know you first time chit chat without the music, the conversation steering towards
what's your
music.
favorite band? Do you like this?
What's your favorite band?
Yeah.
And I just heartbeat Oingo Boingo, and his eyes got Oingo Boingo. I'm like, I love Oingo Boingo.
Yeah,
and
love
he's like,
that.
Oh!
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I always get so happy when people know Oingo Boingo or Danny Elfman or Tim Burton. I always go crazy because that's the main inspiration for a lot of things. So yeah, that's really fun.
Good. Danny and the boys are the number one reason why I'm into music.
That's great.
That was when we talk about that aha moment where you kind of have that proverbial light bulb flick on in your head, and you think, that is what I want to do.
Yep.
It happened for us, both of us, kind of the same night, the same Boingo concert 2 years before we even met each other.
Correct.
Wow, that's so cool.
And it was at the old Salt Palace in Salt Lake, man. It was Boingo on their 89 Alive tour.
Correct.
Wow.
And it was awesome. It was such a great show. But even on the way home, because my mom took me to the concert, and on the way home, I'm like, that's what I want to do, Mom. She's like, you want to do what? I want to be like that singer and that Oingo Boingo. I want to be in a band.
Well, you know what's funny is the friend that I was there with, another guy named Zak, had played guitar in a local ska band for years that did really well called Sturgeon General.
Mm-hmm.
Really cool.
And he went out and bought his first guitar the day after that show.
Oh wow.
And so it was like that was a seminal moment for a lot of us.
It felt, I would tell you, Briauna, it was a magic. Yeah, it was this kind of like that spiritual moment. It was such a rush. And I've spent my lifetime chasing it since.
So. Yeah, and that's what's funny, because for me, ironically, I've been performing since like a really young age. I'm also an actor, and so I've done a lot of theater stuff as a kid, and then I've done some films as well and acted in some films. And my main inspiration was like from the second that I stepped on that stage and I saw people, I just was instantly happy, and I was like, I need to be doing this, and especially with music. Like
it's your home.
It was, oh yeah.
The stage is your home. Quick intermission, folks. We've curated a Spotify playlist called The Guest List, showcasing the incredible artists who grace our show with their talent and stories. Dive deeper into their music. Plus, discover exclusive tracks by Z Frequency. Click the link in the description or search for The Guest List on Spotify. Enjoy, and back to the show.
Yeah, and that's what's so funny is like I do have stage fright, and it's been something that I've I guess gone through for a while, but it's so funny because I will always get stage fright like 15 minutes before, and then the second that I'm on stage, I'm like, nope, this is what I meant to do.
I wouldn't even say fright, maybe just anxious.
Yeah,
you
and
know,
that's a better way to say
anxious,
it.
Yeah, like, I mean, I still can get the jitters too, depending on the size of the crowd, but...
Well, and then this quote, sorry.
Go ahead. What was your quote?
This quote that I've always loved is, oh my goodness, now it's slipping me, is...
Welcome to old age.
I know, right? As we're getting there.
Yeah, no, you got a long way to go.
The memories are getting wiped away already.
Yeah.
So anxiety is a camouflage for excitement. And the way that I've gone through it is it's like, well, anxiety is a camouflage for excitement. And that just means that you really care about what you're doing. So if you're anxious, that just means, you know what, I really care about what I'm doing. And so instead of it making you anxious and letting it bog you down, it's something that can like really propel you. So that's been really good.
I took trumpet from a guy, when I was in high school. He was the principal trumpet player in the Utah Symphony. And the way he explained it to me was that nervousness, it's just energy.
Yeah.
Nerves, excitement, anger, whatever it is, it's all just energy. And the key is to learn how to focus that energy, harness that energy. And in my case, it was, and blow it out the end of your horn.
Yeah.
Blow it out your horn.
Blow it out your horn.
Ow. But no,
I mean, it really is. But also, I think that, performers, we have a very unique opportunity to get up there on stage and kind of strip ourselves bare and be very vulnerable and exposed and raw, a lot of times on stage. And, obviously with acting, you're putting on a mask, you're putting on a different persona. With music, as a singer, songwriter, as somebody who writes your music, it's a very different kind of a thing because you are literally up there and bearing your soul.
You're vulnerable.
Yeah. And ironically, what's really funny is what I've noticed is being a musician's been more comfortable. And I love acting, and it's honestly both of them in a weird way have really helped each other, and it's been really fun because with my music video, I directed it myself. I came up with all of the shot list. I did the shot list myself, and so with my film experience, it made it a lot easier. And then as an actor, it made it easier to be like, okay, we're gonna do all these wides, we're gonna do all these mids, we're gonna do all these close-ups.
Was that your video for Tired?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
I was actually just watching that again. Just a few minutes before we came on, and it really is. It is. I mean, you told the story like I wouldn't have to listen to the lyrics of the song to know what the song's about. You did such a fantastic job, and it really is. Yeah, from the camera angles you use to your mix of the tight shots and the wide shots and it
was all shot in one room too, which I love.
Yes, yeah,
I love that.
And that was my LA apartment, so it makes it even more personal. Yeah. So that was really great. And with that, it was so fun because I worked with Yoni Cohen on that. He's an amazing cinematographer. He's done lots of great things, and it was really fun to work with him to discuss the shots. And then he brought his own gear and had some shot ideas as well that were spontaneous. And so that was a really fun thing to shoot because the main idea that I wanted to get from that music video was I wanted you to get a glimpse into my brain of what that looks like, and all of it's internal. And so that's why at the very end, when the room just becomes a blank slate, it's like all of that was, kind of a facade, something that is just imagined.
Yeah.
But a tiny little snippet you guys will get again. Oh my gosh, people are going to have to watch because I know all the tea, right?
Right.
So in the end of the music video, the door opens and it shuts and I walk out, right? So in my new music video that I'm filming, the door's going to open into this new world, into my new album. And so it's going to connect, which is going to be really fun.
Yeah.
Nice.
I love that. I love
Nice.
that. I love that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So that's a little sneak peek.
I could definitely relate to Tired, because watching that, I was like, yeah, I've been there. I've been in that room. I've been in that mindset. I've been that frustrated.
Totally.
Yeah, so.
For
Yeah.
sure. But that, and the thing is, people watching, gotta check out Briauna's YouTube. There's so much content there, and it's some of it's music, some of it's musings. There's a ton of stuff there. I loved your post about the struggles of having perfect pitch.
Yeah.
And the funny thing, and you were very honest about it. You're like, you know what? I don't want to come off as like conceited.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, but it can be. And what's funny is that I have a nephew who's a trombone player who has perfect pitch, and one of the games that they play in their family is
note.
They'll get glass Coke bottles, and they'll take a sip, and name the note, name the note, name the note, name the note, name the note.
That's so fun.
And he's good, and he does, and he's a talented kid. I'm very
Yeah. I'm so glad you brought that video up, because for the longest time I was getting a lot of inspiration from other videos that I've seen, and it's like I've had so many funny stories where it's like I just don't want to be that annoying person that's just like, oh, it's G sharp, like I want it to be valuable content that makes sense. So that was a really fun video, and I think what I've been trying to do this year too is just really my goal for my listeners and just for my audience in general is just to be as vulnerable as I can be and authentic, and have them be a part of the process. And so as I'm trying to figure out what these video titles are or ideas, I'm just like, guys, what do you want to see? I don't have to know everything all the time. So it's,
right.
I want to let you into that world. So yeah.
Dig it.
Yeah. And
so,
I feel like you're just getting started too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because like we're going to talk a little bit about because in the intake form, we bring up pain points, and it's usually just like some of the struggles that independent artists are currently facing. And usually we're all facing kind of the same struggles.
For
and
sure.
so we kind of go over a few of them, what might be challenging to you, and what might like solutions that you have either thought of or incorporate. And let's see. The main thing is, what's been the hardest part about building a career in independent music without the backing of a label or team behind you?
I'm going to start this off more positive, ironically. I
let's
think
do
the
it.
greatest thing about not having a label is that you can put out as many music videos as you want. You can put out as many songs as you want. You don't have to have the approval, right? You don't have to have the approval from a label. But I do think the hard part about it, though, is finding an authentic audience when it is so incredibly saturated with social media. And social media is an amazing tool, but I think what I've noticed within myself with using social media is my goal with social media is to cultivate a community first, and a community that loves my music, and then they're going to get led to it later. And I think having that mindset instead of more of like, oh, it's oversaturated or I don't have a label, trying to use the resources. But to be real, it is really hard to start out. And for example, what I've noticed for me is it's like I have been posting a lot of content consistently, and
you've been cross-posting too.
And the grind of that can be difficult, but also it's been very rewarding. And to be so real, social media is a lottery. It really is.
Well, I've had fleetings too, like even if you're viral, I mean, the next one is, and
it's crazy because, for example, I had one video that had 100 views, and then I've had one video that had 200,000 views.
Right.
And it's the exact same video. I posted at the exact same time. It just happened to resonate with more people. And so what I like to say for independent artists that are starting out is just do a lot of lottery tickets. It's a lottery ticket. Just play around, have fun.
But be yourself.
And be yourself, exactly. Yep. And so as you're going about it, don't think of it as a chore, like I need to post all this stuff every single day. It's like, for me, it's like, oh, I get a new opportunity to talk to my audience today. And I think it makes it a lot more fun.
And I think that, I think that mixing up your content too, like you do.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
One comment that Charlie Gilder had was that, one of his most views on a video, but he's starting to find that he gets more engagement when it's just him talking.
Yeah.
When he just talks about whatever. And, and that's the thing too, is that's really how you build a community, is because it's not just posting polished videos, music, and things like that. It's being real. It's being you, because you are your product. You're selling you. And, of course people are going to dig the music, but you build a community by getting people to be fans of the person.
Yes. I love what you said. I completely agree with that. And what I've noticed for me is the videos that tend to do the best are, I did a random song generator video where I took a random word generator and I made a song out of it. And people are really liking that. And it's like, that's great, because I love writing music. And the funny thing is, it's like every single time I try to use a trending sound or try to follow a trend of some kind, I still think it's important to do that. But
deep
the
down,
ones that
you're
stick
like,
with
is this
people,
even really necessary? Like,
right?
is this gonna really do any good? Yeah,
exactly. Totally. And so for me, I'm really happy and I'm grateful that the content that does the best is the content that I love to do the most, because I know for most people it's not. So I'm grateful that it is the way it is.
No, that's good. And like Matt was saying, that you are the product. You are what sells. Like the music may get them in the door, but whether they're gonna fall in love with you as an artist is how authentic you are. Like, how real are you? It's different. It's a different mindset. Like, I think a lot of problem or a challenge that independent artists, unsigned artists come into the game is they feel like they've got to play the same game as a signed artist or an artist under a label, and they play by kind of a whole different set of rules, a different budget. Like, it's a whole different ball game for them. And that's kind of where we're at, is like, it's for us, we're trying to build a community, and trying to find a niche for us. And it's almost like the glorified dad band. I don't know. Like, I don't know how to. Yeah, I don't know how to.
Well, and I saw your guys' live show that you sent me.
Did you? Okay.
Oh yeah, it was great. Like, what I love about you guys is you have a very upbeat vibe to it, and I almost wish that I was there in person, because I feel like you guys have such an electric energy.
But you would have fun.
Right? It would be so much fun. And so I love when bands can do that, when it's like it's an entire environment and an atmosphere when you're performing at an actual venue. Like, those type of bands are really great. And so your video captured that really well, and I loved that.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
I had several cameras and all of them failed, but that one camera.
Well, and the only other camera that worked was I had my iPhone set up on a tripod.
He was doing the live stream.
And to live stream it, and for some reason I screwed it up, and I had the camera set landscape, but it was streaming portrait. And so it's like this trunk. So I had framed it as a landscape shot with the whole stage, everybody in it. Video. But it's this tiny little.
And it was on the podcast channel. It was on this channel and not our band channel.
I meant to stream it on the band channel, and I streamed it on the podcast channel. So
goodness,
the struggle is real.
Yeah. Mistakes galore.
But mistakes were made, and they were mostly made by us two.
It was fun, though.
Two of the 7 members of the band can be blamed, but yeah, I mean, but that's the thing, is that, we're at the point of our musical journey where we gave up the aspect of we're going to be big, we're going to be huge, we're going to, we was right now we want to grow, we want to grow this band, we want to grow a fan base, we want to grow a community.
Right.
But we're doing it because we have fun doing it, and we're doing it because we want to do it.
Yeah, I love that.
I keep telling myself that anyway.
Yeah. And I think that's an interesting point. I think for me, my biggest goal is to reach as many people as possible, and just continually having people see my music and just getting it in front of as many ears as I can. And so that's what's great about doing podcasts like these, which is awesome.
Yeah. Right.
And also, I just getting it in front of as many ears, but also having it make an impact for somebody, and then having them relate to my story and what I'm talking about. And especially with my music, I think writing about love is great, and I think it's something that everyone has hopefully experienced in this life. But I like to talk about that, but I also like to talk about other things with my music too that are interesting, that I don't think get talked about a ton, like especially with this album, talking more about self-identity and self-discovery, and talking about
mental health and
growing pains and transitions, because especially with me being from Utah and then going to LA and going to a new environment, I felt like I was in this limbo state for a while, just not having a permanent place to call home. And so with that, being in this limbo of two different lives where it's like kind of my past life of what I've been doing for the past couple years, and then trying to get to another point in this limbo is an interesting thing to navigate. And so I think with my new album, I want to try to write some more stuff like that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Absolutely cool. What kind of things do you do to, like, do you have a promotion plan? Like, how do you promote your songs when they are released?
Yeah, no, I think that's great. The process has changed for a while, but what I'm going to be doing with this one is the main thing, independent artists, if you aren't doing this, do it. You need to be having your stuff on Spotify ready to distribute 4 to 6 weeks before it actually comes out. That's like the most important thing you need to do, because
I always
it
preach
needs,
that.
right? Yes. Because it needs to have enough time to stream to everything properly so the song actually comes out when it's supposed to. But the biggest thing is being able to have it go to curated playlists and actually putting yourself up for playlist consideration. And so that's what I'm going to do with this single. And then as far as marketing goes, I want to market on Facebook and Instagram, and then do TikTok promote and do most of those things. And then
So you're going to put some money into marketing.
Yeah, so I'm going to have a marketing budget. So
like, you know how many times like I talk to guys and they're like, oh no, I don't do the marketing. And I'm like, again, if you're broke, you're broke. You don't have money, you don't have money. And we have a very limited budget. But those are all very important things. And plus, if you're releasing early, you have a chance to pull it back if there's a mistake, because sometimes you post it and you're like, wait, no, that's not right, you know, and you can withdraw it and still put it back up and still make the deadline. So.
Yes. And that's so important. And I think for me too is also don't let budget limit you as well, because there's a lot of free stuff you can do. A lot of, like, for example, a lot social of the artists. Media. Yes. And social media is literally your biggest marketing asset that I don't think is utilized a ton with independent artists, especially from here, is the frequency of posting. Because I know people, especially independent artists, they're like, well, I don't want to be an influencer and I don't want to go that route. I just want to make music,
dance,
right?
You know,
and dance and do the thing, but use it as a time to talk to your audience and talk to your listeners and update them on what's going on, and make it a fun platform and do something unique. But one thing I wanted to mention is what I'm really liking that a lot of artists are doing, like Somber, Robin, she released Poseidon Complex. I love her song. They literally take the same soundbite and they just lip sync over it and post it, and lip sync over it and post it.
Yeah. And
there's a lot that can do. Like, I think people, I know it gets boring and it gets monotonous, but I think that's a really great tool to use as well.
Well, and you think about it, you could batch create that hook, right? Your hook.
Yeah.
Like right now with Lobotomy, you could batch create your hook by just walking around your area and find 10 different shots of you just doing that 10-second hook. In fact, now might be a good time to segue into the teaser, right?
Ooh, okay, yes, that's perfect.
Okay. Now,
I know.
Okay, let's see. Give me a second. But
so excited.
I thought that would be...
That was such a perfect segue.
Yeah, it's so easy to do too. Like, all you have to do is like take a little MP3 player or a little speaker and just sing to it. And it looks silly and sounds silly when you're doing it, especially walking down the street or whatever. And then you just edit, and post, and you just add the actual music. So anyway, we are going to play a little snippet, a little teaser taste of Briauna's new song, Lobotomy, coming out July 17th. And hopefully this works. You ready?
Yes.
I've only tried this once, so let's...
Okay, you're totally fine.
Here we go. Yeah. I love it.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So excited. Yeah, thanks for setting that up, you guys.
Thanks for sharing that with us. That was great.
Of course. Yeah.
And I am so excited. You said you also did the artwork too, and you were excited about that. Like, explain that process.
Yeah. So it was so fun to come up with that artwork. So I was playing around with like a couple of different ideas of what I wanted, and then I decided to settle on, I wanted it to look like an ink blot from a psychiatric
That's what
facility.
I was going to say. It looks like an ink blot. That's what it does. It looks like, psychology.
Yeah. And so what I thought that would, because I wanted something really abstract and I wanted something where people could kind of sit and think, but I also wanted it to look like an ink blot. Finding that like happy medium was really fun. But what I didn't notice until I actually created it was it looks to me
Like
it
a
looks
butterfly?
like and a brain.
Oh, and a brain. There you go. Yeah. Cool.
So it makes it like a dual meaning still, because like we're talking about lobotomy, it kind of looks like a brain, and then you got the butterfly that's part of my trademark. And so yeah, that was really fun to create that artwork. And then my mom specifically, she does graphic design work, and so I work with her a ton on my album art covers and stuff. So she helped me with more of the technical aspects, making sure things looked really good. So that's really fun.
Congratulations. I love it.
Yeah,
That's
thank you.
It's a great deal. Obviously, you have these 3 songs coming out in succession, or versions, I'm sorry, 3 different remixes. And then you're just going to keep releasing with a full album coming out sometime maybe next year, or what's the plan on that?
That's a great question. I'm just going to be releasing as I can, and I have 2 or 3 other songs in the works right now. I'm just trying to build the track list, and so most likely next year is what I'm thinking. But if I can do it next year, I mean this year, then that's all great. But yeah, probably next year is when it'll be out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. And
Thank you.
we'll have to revisit
Yes, please.
once this comes out. So
yeah.
is there any shout outs that you want to give? People you
Yeah.
want to thank? Your mom,
yeah,
your
of
dog,
course.
your kitty,
Yeah.
whatever.
So my entire family, my dad, first off, is absolutely amazing. He always has like fine-tuned details for my songs, and that's really awesome. I'd like to thank him. And then my mom, she always is listening to the drafts and things and giving feedback, but also helping me with the covers. And then my sister Allison, she does film acting full-time, and so she does more of the other end of things. She's really amazing. And then I want to
Sounds
shout
like
out my
talented family.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
We're very artistic, very
Yeah, I can
artistic.
see that.
And
Well,
then,
it sounds like
yeah.
your parents have been sound like
Supportive.
super
So
supportive of your
supportive.
dream,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
so huge.
To be honest, that's been like the main driver of a lot of things. Is I am grateful that I have parents that they've never doubted it. They've never said, don't do this, you can't do this. They've been 100% supportive throughout the whole way, and I've been really grateful for that 100%. And then same with my sister Allison. She does film acting full time, and still same thing, full steam ahead. They're very supportive, really great. And then I want to give a shout out to Jake that produced this single.
Nice.
And then to Alec Dean, he produced the second one. And then JG also produced the acoustic version as well that's going to come out. So
nice.
yeah, and so I'm going to be continuing to work with them, and they were amazing to work with. And also what's coming up too is on my social media, I'm going to do separate interviews with them and talk about their own process of how they produce the
I love
stuff.
that.
And
I love
so
it.
that'll be really fun.
That's
So,
great.
Yeah.
And where can people find you on the socials?
Yeah, so it is Briauna.official everywhere. So it's the same on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, all the things. So
Hey, Zach, are you going to include the links on the screen?
And I'll put them in the description below.
Ooh, look
Yay!
at those links. Oh my God, it's magic.
Oh my gosh.
I'll also put in the pre-save link
Beautiful, thank
to her new song Lobotomy. And Briauna, we just want to say thanks for coming on the show.
Of
And
course.
you'll have to come back.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Alrighty.
For sure.
Okay.
Briauna, thank you so much for hanging out with us today.
Seriously, your perspective on artist interviews is exactly what this community needs.
Make sure you guys go follow Briauna on Instagram at Briauna.official.
And check out all of her music on all of the streaming platforms too.
And if you love this episode, hit that subscribe and follow button to help us grow the Utah scene.
We'll catch you on the flip side.